Hey guys, it's Off by One here, and today we're going to be solving House Robber 2. Before getting into this problem, I want to say that if you haven't solved House Robber 1, I recommend doing that. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to watch my video on it. The reason I say that is because we're going to be reusing the same solution, but just slightly modifying it. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the problem. So again, we're told that we're a professional robber planning to rob houses along a street, and that each house has a certain amount of money, and the difference now is that all the houses in this place are arranged in a circle. So that means the first house is the neighbor to the last house. And the same restriction applies where we can't rob adjacent houses. And the reason this changes it is because let's say we have three houses like this. Well, we can't rob house 1 and house 3 because these are neighbors now. So our only option would be to either rob house 1 only, house 2 only, or house 3 only. So now that we have that cleared up, let's take a look at another example. So let's say we were still doing House Robber 1. Well, the max amount of money we could rob from these four houses here would be starting at 2 and then skipping these next two houses and robbing this last house because that would equal 4. But the problem now is that in this problem we can't do that. So another way to think about it is to think that we can only rob this part of the array, or we could rob this part of the array. So now if we take a look at this first part of the array, you can see that the max amount of money we can rob would be starting at 2 and then robbing this third house here, and that would give us a max of 3. If we rob this house only, we would only get 1, so we know that's not true. Our other option would be to rob this part of the array where we don't include the first one, but we do include the last one. And the max amount of money we can rob here would be if we start at house 1 and then rob house 3. So our max amount of money here would be 3, which would be the same as the other one, but now our max cannot be 4. So basically what we want is the max between this subarray or this subarray. And the way you do that is you pass all of the numbers except the last one, and then for the second part of the array, you pass every number except the first one. And this is why I said you should solve House Robber 1, because we're basically just going to use the same code. And what we're going to do is calculate the max between House Robber 1, let's just say that's our function, and we're going to pass in our array, let's say nums, starting from the beginning all the way to the last one, excluded, that's what this means here, or nums, starting from the first index, because this would be a 0 index, so if we want to skip it, we want to start at the first index, all the way to the last. And that's pretty much it. Actually, I meant to write the House Robber 1 function twice. So we're going to be calling it twice. Once for the array starting from the beginning all the way to the end excluded, and starting from the beginning excluded all the way to the end. Our time complexity for this algorithm is still going to be O of n, and our space complexity is still going to be constant space, because all we're doing is calling the House Robber 1 function twice. So now let's get into the code. To start, I just copied and pasted the code from House Robber 1. So like I said, if you haven't seen that video, I recommend watching it. This is the exact same code. I didn't change anything. And what we want to do up here in our new function is return the max between. So we're going to have our nums array split into different parts. So let's just call our House Robber function. And it's supposed to be 1. And now what we want to pass is nums from the beginning all the way to the end excluded, and then we want to pass it again, but this time with the beginning excluded. So it's going to be nums starting from 1 all the way to the end. And that should work, but there is one more edge case though that we have to take care of, and that's if the array is of size 1. Because if it's of size 1, then this will be empty since we're excluding the last index, and this would also be empty because we're excluding the first index. So if the length of nums is less than 2, then we just want to return nums at 0. And then that should work. I'm just going to rename this function here to be consistent with these, and now it should work. So as you can see, this code is pretty efficient, and now I'll go through the code manually. So for this problem, I'm going to treat the code a little differently. I'm not going to go over this part of the code since I already did that in House Robber 1. And I'm really just going to go over this return statement. So what we're going to do, like I said, is split up the array. So this is our first array, and then this is our second array. And I've already done that here. And for this first array, you can see that our max is going to be starting from 3 and going to 1, and that will give us a max of 4. And now we go to the second nums array. Well, we have this 1 here and this 5 here, and that clearly is greater than this one in the middle. So I'm just going to say that's our best route. So our max here would be 6. And the max between 4 and 6 is going to be 6. So we're going to return that, and that's our answer. So the difference here would be that in House Robber 1, the best route would have been starting from 3 and going all the way to 5. But since we can't do that here, this is how we solve it. If this video helped you in any way, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.